Start, the show where we review our favorite and least favorite Kickstarter projects and predict if they will succeed or fail. I'm Conrad.
I'm Grant.
And I'm Peter.
Today we'll be reviewing one of Kickstarter's most successful projects, the Oculus Rift.
My name is Paul Merlucky, and I'm a virtual reality enthusiast and the designer of the Rift. Games are something I'm really passionate about, and even more than playing games, I'm passionate about bringing games to the next level. What we're doing at Oculus is trying to create the world's best virtual reality headset designed very specifically for gaming. Where this all started was in my parents' garage in Long Beach, California. And I was interested in stereoscopic displays, I was interested in head mounts, and the problem was there was nothing that gave me the experience that I wanted, the Matrix, where I can plug in and actually be in the game. And I was sure that somewhere out there was something that I could buy. And the reality is there's nothing. I set out to change that with the Oculus Rift. The magic that sets the Rift apart is immersive stereoscopic 3D rendering, a massive field of view, and ultra-low latency head tracking. John Carmack is one of the best developers in the world. The Doom, Quake, Commander Keen. Carmack saw some of my work. That's originally when he reached out to me.
For a certain segment of the population, the hacker-maker crowd, this is going to be awesomely cool to work with. What I've got now is, I honestly think the best VR demo probably the world's ever seen. We're certainly going to take this into our future projects, so...
There's a lot of great head-mounted displays out there, but they're all really, really expensive, up to over $100,000. What the Rift does is it makes a high-end virtual reality experience available to the average gamer. So most consumer head-mounted displays have a diagonal field of view of about 30 or 40 degrees. You see a really small image way off in the distance, and it doesn't make you feel like you're there. With the Oculus Rift, you get a diagonal field of view of 110 degrees. That means you're not looking at a screen anymore. You actually feel like you're inside of the world.
You don't see the screen when you put it on your eyes, and that just changes the whole ballgame.
One of the biggest problems with virtual reality up to this point is latency. The benefit of the Rift is that it's designed to be really, really low latency. So rather than looking like this and you turn your head and then it follows, it actually follows with your view no matter what you do.
There are two reasons why this is possible now with Oculus, is that the displays are very high density and very lightweight and are very small, and the sensors that sense your head position and your turning in your virtual environment are also very low cost.
The reason we're using Kickstarter is so that we can get these dev kits into the hands of developers as fast as possible. That way they can try it for themselves and start integrating support into their games and engines. We really need developer feedback so that we can make the consumer version of this even more incredible than it already is.
So for indie developers, doing this Kickstarter, really getting it out there early, not waiting until we have a consumer version, allows them to get started as well.
If you want to be one of the first to try the Rift, grab a dev kit. We'll provide access to our SDK, Unreal and Unity engine integrations, and a copy of Doom 3 BFG Edition, the first Oculus-ready game. So join the revolution, make a pledge, and help us change gaming forever.
So, we just watched the Oculus Rift video, and as you guys probably already know, they were asking for $250,000. They got $2.4 million.
Wow. 10 times what they were asking. So they were probably looking, $250K, maybe make a prototype, really start getting in the hands of people, and they got basically 10 times what they were looking to start with. Like, my God, that's amazing.
That's a lot.
But, so what are they going to do with it now? So I know you can donate anywhere from $1 to as infinite amount, however much cash you have in your bank right now. But, so you started off, you get t-shirts, posters, for like $10, $15, $35. And it got to the point where it was like a do-it-yourself at home kit for $275. That's a pretty big donation.
That is a good donation. Yeah.
That is a nothing donation. If I had the opportunity to get this awesome prototype, and I knew a game was coming out at the end of this year, and $300 is nothing. I mean, that's how much you paid for your gaming system. So
right.
if you know you're going to pay $300 and you're going to get this thing in the mail for Christmas, basically, this is a Christmas gift. I mean, I'd buy 2 or 3 of them.
But
right.
you do know that you can do that. You, what is it, $575, you get 2 of them.
Right, and the developer kit.
You get the developer kit, you get the Unreal Engine, the Unity Engine, and Doom 3.
Right. And you have to think too, not like a developer kit for a company, you know, for a gaming company, it could be free, or for like if I want to start developing on Xbox, something like that. I'm not sure exact number, but I'm sure it's like several hundred, if not thousands of dollars just to be able to get in on it. And so there are even opportunities for your company. Maybe you're starting up right out of college, maybe you've been around for years, to get right into the game for around $300 to get a developer kit, and then up to like, I think, was it $3,000? You got 10 do-it-yourself kit, or 10 Oculus Rifts, and 10 developer kits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. That's amazing entry level.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they sold $2.5 million, or not sold, but raised $2.5 million.
Yeah. Well, and don't forget, they've also already got the support from the development community.
Right. Exactly. And so
Before they even asked for money, before they asked for any money,
right.
they already got support. I mean, how can this possibly fail?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. It's like, think about like
So
the past.
the question is, will they have commercial success?
Right.
Vote?
I don't know.
I think they've already had
I think no.
commercial success. They've already made $2.5 million.
But like, okay, I want to go on that note. Okay, so I know everybody's probably thinking this guy's crazy. He's probably just saying this to say it. But no, in reality, $2.5 million to distribute all your stuff through like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Micro Center, wherever you're buying your electronics at. That's a lot of money for your first year. But after that initial rollout, what's the next step? What's the iPad 2 of the Oculus Rift? What's the Oculus Rift 2 going to look like? I feel like once you have this, the next few years, you're not going to need to buy another one unless you step on it or break it. And, what would you upgrade? I guess that's what I'm asking, commercial success-wise. Why would you buy the next one? Keep the company going.
Computing performance always advances. So you would have a larger field,
Sure.
larger view, better stereoscopic vision, more in-tune controls with your head.
Right. Very true. And I think on that note, you're right. I think that's amazing. I think like they already have Epic, who does Unreal, has the Unreal Engine, and Unreal 4 is coming out at the end of the year. So roughly in the year beginning 2013, and so like to already have an engine that runs almost every game, first-person shooter-wise. I shouldn't say that, but the majority, like Unreal, is a name that most gamers know. Like people know Unreal Tournament, and a lot of their engines run other types of games. To be able to have that first-person experience, not even in like a gun game, like first-person shooter, but in something like Skyrim, for example, that's a game changer. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Well, and don't forget, do you guys remember the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest back in the 90s?
Yes.
That is what this is going to give us. We are finally going to experience Quest World.
Oh wow, yeah.
So if the viewers aren't familiar with the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, make sure you see our show notes.
We'll definitely. Wow. Yeah. That's definitely a piece of
That's
pop
good.
culture history.
Yeah.
I remember Johnny Quest.
The original Johnny Quest.
No, I remember the name.
Okay, the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, they basically invented the Oculus Rift and created an entire virtual reality world
Okay, all right.
full of, those light cycles.
Was that a cartoon? Was
Oh,
that a cartoon?
Tron. Yeah.
So in
I
the
remember
cartoon,
all those.
in the Saturday morning cartoon,
Yes.
they made this thing.
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network.
I see. Oh,
Was
no,
it
it was
like-
actually on Saturday morning cartoons when I was growing up. Yes.
I think they like revamped it, right? They came out with it, and then they redid it in the '90s.
Yeah.
I remember because I had the toys and all this. I was thrilled. I remember begging my parents to take me out to get that stuff. It was awesome.
Okay,
And
so
I was gonna say, I always remember wanting that to exist, and now we finally have that
and
opportunity.
then you get to buy one.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm going to buy one.
Well, it was $300 to get your own copy of this, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So they got 2.5 million. I was going to look up on a calculator on this, but I couldn't find it. How many people are going to get one of these?
Right.
Is
And
that
I don't know if Kickstarter will tell you exactly
About
who donated how much money.
8,000 people? 2.5 million divided by 300 is 8,333. So that's how many people are going to get. I mean, approximately.
I think it's
Over 8,000.
There is a third of a person that's going to get.
Basically,
Yes,
Or
exactly.
one person's going to get a third of it.
over 8,000 people are going to get these. But I think it's pretty good for a site that is. I mean, not a lot of people know about this site.
Right.
And not a lot of people are going to want a prototype that may or may not exactly work. I mean, they don't know if it's going
Right.
to be forward
And
compatible with other games.
I should say, I'm not gonna buy one now. The Kickstarter's already successful. I don't have to worry about that. I'm waiting for an actual
Right.
working model.
Version 1.
And
Version 1, first generation.
they had a really, and maybe not aggressive, but they seemingly aggressive like release date for December 12th, 2012.
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
12/12/12 is amazing. You know,
And
it's
that's when
like
the-
20 days before we're all
That's when the
dying.
game is coming out. That's
So
when,
the Oculus Rift is coming
that's
out.
when the product.
The end of this
Right.
year.
And then the only game so far that has been announced that's going to run it is the Doom BFG.
Doom 3 BFG?
Yeah, Doom
Something like
3 BFG.
That's all
They're
they
gonna. It's the only thing that's coming out with at release that'll actually use it. Now, like I'm sure they're gonna have, you know, all kinds of ads.
Well, they already had 5 or 6 game companies on,
Right.
on that video talking
And-
about we want to.
And so you have to
Very
assume.
excited about this.
All right, so you have
People
you have to assume that
with collars up.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean,
V-necks
Daniel,
everywhere.
You know,
I mean,
that.
everyone
These
was
are senior
idiots.
smart people.
Smart people who know the industry. And you know, I think it was very interesting. You know, the guy who made Doom was like, you know, it's a maker hacker product. Like that's who we're aiming this for, which is an extremely small market. And they're going to go out and bum rush the people who didn't get on Kickstarter and fund this when it was still up. People are going to raid the stores for this, and I can guarantee you're going to sell them on eBay for a lot of money for the first few months. I don't think it's something you can mass produce.
The only thing I'm worried about for the hacker maker community is that's kind of what I expected out of the Kinect, and that never happened.
It started and then it just fell off on that.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Because you know, Microsoft finally even bit the bullet and was like, they released that Kinect Fun Labs for people to make their own stuff, and they just kind of like,
I was waiting for the MIT crowds to make the Bourne Identity or whatever that was. The
oh,
help me out, Tom Cruise movie.
Yes.
Minority
yes.
Report.
Minority.
Report, where he's like throwing things on the screen and like swiping and just
Right.
typing in the air.
Why don't we have that?
and the saddest thing is like
Right,
that
yeah.
movie came out how many years ago and we still don't have it. Everyone wants that. My mom wants that. Everyone wants that. I mean, it's amazing.
So
You know?
I'm worried that the Oculus Rift is not going to be for the hacker maker community.
So, but you have to, okay, on that note, you have to assume that it's coming out for PC only when it comes out. Because I don't think that you can wirelessly at $225 have all this technology in it and do it to your Xbox. Because I think if it was a wired,
Maybe that's Oculus Rift 2. Back
Maybe
to your
so.
Xbox, back to your PlayStation
like
3.
your PlayStation, yeah.
Maybe PlayStation 4
Learn
by that time, but-
well, they got 10 times the amount they expected just
Is
for
it
PC.
wireless? Was the prototype a wireless?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Well, it's going to be wireless then. How can it not be wireless?
2012, we got wireless.
You got a box that you
It's
plug.
2012.
You have
It's
a box.
2012.
You have a box you plug into your joystick cord or
It looks
game.
wireless.
Or even Bluetooth or something.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be wireless.
Okay, so
It almost has to be wireless.
it has to be, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, well, there's a wire. There's a wire.
No, that's the antenna. I have no idea.
That looks
No
like
one
a
knows.
stand almost, really.
Is that a wire?
It
Is
was-
this stand?
We have a monitor over here we're checking out to see.
Newbie.
I don't know. You know, that's actually that's a good question. That's a good question that they never really highlighted
Or
in the
we
video.
didn't
in the video.
see it.
And we didn't read, so.
Who reads?
We don't
I
read.
read.
We don't read.
Well, I watched the YouTube video. I watched like the first like 2 minutes.
Oh, there's a wire in that picture.
And a
There's a
wire.
It's almost it is Matrix like.
Okay, well
It's
that looks
Well,
funny.
you know what? Oculus Rift 2, wireless.
wireless. So but here's the thing that's gonna keep you up at night. And I thought about this, and we kind of talked about this before the show, but
We didn't
Okay.
talk about it before the show. This is all.
this is terrifying. So there's gaming, there's all this exciting stuff, but as a business owner, if I am like spending hundreds of dollars on like monitors, right? And I'm spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars just on the cubicles surrounding all my employees, keeping them separated and ready with their teams and whatnot. I think I would look at this and say, this is $275. And if I mass buy them, probably cheaper. Which is great for them commercially, very successful. That's another route they can possibly go with this. Because with that field of view they're promising, you have the equivalent of several monitors. And with Skype, you could have a voice chat going, whatever else you might have. I don't know how the video would work with that. But, you know, it seems to me like this is the cubicle 2.0. You know? I mean, like, this is what you would want. You would have to have like a supervisor sitting there looking at everyone to see if they're taking their Rift off, because you're not checking your phone for anything. You're not looking at Facebook.
Your personal phone.
Right. You're not checking. You couldn't without anyone else noticing. You wouldn't even have a cubicle at that point. You'd be sitting in a big open room, not distracted by anything, which to a business owner or corporation, that's what you want. But
you have your employees completely immersed in their work.
It completely, like the work-life balance would be zero at that point. I mean, like everyone needs a 15-minute break here and there, but I don't know. I thought it was a not probable, but terrifying route that could go down.
It could. I see this being a possibility, but at the same time, a good corporation is going to realize that employees need a little bit of freedom.
Right.
So.
And they need to be able to see their hands.
Right. I mean, that is very true.
Yes.
Because they're still working keyboards.
Right.
And figuring it out.
And the gamer crowd, hyper crowd, modern crowd, they don't need to see their keyboard anymore. They are well
I
past.
think you're right. I think there could be an office or productivity application somewhere for this.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to turn into 8 hours a day. People are wearing this thing on their head. First of all, probably is it safe to wear this thing on your head for 8 hours a day? What kind of radiation? I mean, who knows?
Go blind after.
What kind of stuff goes on? I mean, yeah, your eyes. That'd be like the equivalent of you staring at your computer screen without looking away for 8 hours. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. But
yeah,
there may be some application out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if in college I was studying something like that, something like this would have been without with all the textbooks being online now, you could have just had like a PDF up and. I mean, I think there's so many more applications to it other than just gaming.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. How many times have you sat there on the couch with your textbook open, just watching something on television?
I can't say that's ever happened. I was a scholar. No, absolutely not.
I think the application is not to keep people out, but to immerse yourself in what you're doing. And so having a textbook. Reading a text, no one's going to spend $500 on a thing so they can focus on a textbook better.
Right.
And so, they're going to spend $500 on this thing so they can play their favorite game and walk around the room and look, and everywhere they look, they're in the middle of this game.
Again, Questworld.
Johnny Questworld, exactly. I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's very Matrix-like. It's very, I think if we have a mainstream application, I think that people are focused on like Xbox 720s, the PlayStations, the Wii U's that are coming out at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But I think the next 2 to 5 years, which I know is very broad, I think that it's going to go mainstream. I think that you were saying maybe it'll jump to consoles, which would be the next logical step for them to go to.
I think that they'd still have to go wireless first.
But
definitely consoles someday. That will happen.
Right, something like this. I mean. This is a game changer. It's a game changer. I mean, that really takes off like more than like the Virtual Boy, more than anything like that in the past. People have tried this before. Let's look at it.
And the technology just wasn't there for the Virtual Boy. I mean,
right.
They could only afford to come in the color red. It's 2012 now. That was 1990 something.
Yeah.
So are you guys ready for a final vote?
Yeah, but I want to say one thing real quick. I think that it's going to be much bigger than what you are saying because they've already sold 8,000 of these to just hackers, and I think it's going to be much bigger coming out on December 12th. And they're going to sell 80,000, they're going to sell 100,000, 500,000. I don't know how many, but it's just going to go crazy. And not people that are just in their garage and are just passionate about games, but anybody who's got $300 or whatever the cost is going to be is going to buy this and be excited and want to put this on and play their favorite game and look around and shoot things. And so I think it's going to be huge, big thumbs up, way up here.
I also think it's going to be a big success, maybe not quite as much, but it's coming out in Christmas. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
you're right.
Big.
I think, I don't. I'll give it a thumbs up too. I'll give it a thumbs up. I think, kind of on what you're saying, kind of a mixture of both. I think that you're right. The hacker maker crowd is diving into it. They're the people who are like 2 or 3 years ahead of everyone else, 99% of the time. And they make the apps and the programs that we're going to be using. And I think there's so many more avenues it's going to go down other than just gaming. So big thumbs up to it. I think it will, if not initially, it will be very, very successful in the next like 1 or 2 years.
Well, guys, thank you for watching our first episode of Kickstart. If you like our show, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and you can find all of our show notes in the links below. Thank you once again. I'm Conrad.
I'm Grant.
And I'm Peter.
We will see you guys next time.
Awesome. You're gonna game time, my friends.